So this is on my favorite brows, liners, and mascara. Um, Part of my little mini series of things I love. So I'm just going to get started. This is the brow pencil that I use a lot for like probably, I don't know, daily for a while. So this is like I don't even know how many I've gone through. This is the Elizabeth Arden Umber, but then I got lazy, got really lazy. So I switched to this. This is the Mascara by Almay. It's the One Coat Nourishing Mascara in Lengthening. And the color is in dark brown. So I just use this to sweep over my brows, and it just darkens it, and I don't have to fill it. I don't have to do these little dashes. I just sweep it over really quick. So if you're really lazy like me, you might want to try a mascara or a brow gel with a tint. But it's a lot easier to find mascaras than tinted brow gels. So, and it is less expensive as well. But it does last me like 6 months for this too, because you just use a little bit versus mascara when you're layering and stuff. So if you have the hair but they're kind of light, this is a very good option where you don't have to draw them in. Unless you have gaps and stuff, then you should use like a powder or a pencil. Otherwise, you can be lazy like me. Next up are eyeliners. So it's really hard to wear eyeliners for me, just because the kind of the rim of my eye touches my lid up here when I open my eyes. So it does transfer, and I really hate that. And my lids are the only thing that kind of get that moisture, so my eye makeup sometimes does smudge, even with a good primer. So yeah, it's very hard for me to wear eyeliners, but this is probably the most transfer resistant one that I've tried. It does get a little bit, especially when it's warmer, but it stays pretty darn well. And this is the Physicians Formula Gel Cream Liner in Hazel Eyes. I should probably get more of them, but I'm really lazy with using a brush. So I used to use gel liners all the time, but I've been lazy lately. So converted back to pencils, and here they are. These are the ones that I use quite often. But let's start with these. These are the Urban Decay 24/7 liners. They actually don't work that well on my top lid because they do transfer. Lots of people love them, and they just don't work on the top lid for me, but they do work really well underneath, like just along that lash line to give that little pop of color, which I love. And they're kind of like small now, but they do last a long time. So really love those. And the 4 colors that I do use a lot are Lust, Lucky, Covet, and Electric. So there are those. And then for like if I want something really black, this is Model Co. Black. I think it's an Australian brand. And I just use it on the rim of the lower, and I get really close to the lash line so that it doesn't smudge. Just because it does smudge and transfer pretty easily because it's so creamy. But it works really well to define the eyes, just like a little bit in the lower and the upper, just like really, really close to the lash line, and it won't transfer onto the lid and stuff. So there's that. But this is the most transfer proof eyeliner that I've tried for pencil anyways. And this is the Revlon Color Stay. It stays almost as well as the Physicians Formula Gel Cream Liner, but it is harder to put on and you have to tug a little bit, but it's worth it for the lasting power and how transfer resistant it is for a pencil. So really love this, and this is in black. I do have a few of this just laying around just because it's so just not too expensive. It's like $6, which is way cheaper than the Urban Decay and the Urban Decay Transfer Run. So really love this Revlon Color Stay eyeliner. And for my lashes, I'm usually really picky with this. Use this Brow Lash Growth Accelerator. I know it's kind of dirty because of the mascara residue that's left, but it does help my mascara apply a lot more easily. And the one that I've always rebuy is this one. This is the Almay Intense Eye Color. I used to get the Rimmel one a lot and the Volume Express by Maybelline, but this is my all-time favorite. Probably third or fourth tube here, and it's drying out, so I need to get another one. This is in Black Flash. Don't really notice the glitter, but it is a really good all-over mascara for me, just because it does lengthen a little bit as well as add volume. So it kind of reminds me of L'Oreal Voluminous, or is it Voluminous? Can't remember, but you know what I'm talking about. But this one doesn't dry out as quickly. So if you are looking for something close to that but doesn't dry out as quickly, the Almay one is a good option. And that is it for my eye products, or yeah, for my eye products. So stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be on lips.